Well, just like the right side, I have to get rid of everything that's rotten so I can start from scratch. And what I'm really hoping for is that underneath all this rotten foam is some sort of aluminum structure that I could just cover with brand new foam. This craft is technically a ground effect vehicle. What that means is it can only fly about 10 feet off the ground. But for it to be able to fly, it has to be lightweight. And that's why it was originally built out of foam. But the foam is a double-edged sword, because if it's dry, it's really light. But since this hovercraft sat outside and the foam got soaked, it is really heavy. So that's not great, but I'm looking for some good news. So I'm gonna rip off the skirt and hopefully everything underneath the skirt is in good shape. If it's not in good shape, I don't know. Again, guys, I don't know anything about foam or boats or composites. I'm learning as I go. So if you do know about this stuff and you have a quick, easy solution, let me know. The skirts screw into a piece of wood that has been epoxied to the foam. So all I have to do is remove the screws. I removed the skirt and I was hoping for good news, but underneath the skirt, it's even worse. The wood underneath the skirt is so soaked, I can squeeze water out of it, and the foam is just as bad. Well, I'm not exactly sure what to do. In my mind, I was gonna pull off the rotten pieces and fix those, and then I was gonna have a flying hovercraft. That is not the case. This is going to be a giant restoration, if it's even possible. So if you guys saw the first video of me picking this up, I kept blowing out tires on the trailer, and I had to buy an entirely different trailer to haul it back. Well, this is definitely why I kept blowing tires. This thing is full of water. And not only is the foam full of water, it's also been eaten away by ants. They've eaten all this foam away. Here's a pile of ants. I've been Googling to see how I can remove the water out of this foam. And Google tells me that I need to rip out all the foam and get rid of it. Well, the problem with that is if I remove all this foam, then I remove the whole boat because there's nothing else other than the foam. I was hoping that underneath the fiberglass and wood, there'd be some sort of frame, some sort of structure, but I've got an idea and I don't know if this is gonna work, but I think it's kind of my only option. I'm gonna cover the entire craft with plastic and superheat it and put a dehumidifier inside and see if it's able to dry out the foam. If you have a good idea on how I could dry this foam out, let me know, because it would be such a waste to have to throw this thing away only because the foam got a little wet. It's set up, and this is very basic, but if this works, it may be able to save this craft. I've got my diesel heater right there, so it's gonna pump in hot air and it will travel alongside the craft into the bag, and the dehumidifier is right there. I'm gonna let this run all night, and in the morning, we'll see if the foam has dried out at all. This is the best I've come up with. I really need this to work, because if the internet is right and this type of foam can't be dried out, it basically means I have a paperweight. Let's turn this diesel heater on and see if it fills the craft up with hot air.
Start heating.
Diesel heater's firing up. Plug in the dehumidifier. Hopefully the dehumidifier works because I just bought it used off Facebook Marketplace. These little diesel heaters are insane. You can get them on Amazon. They're crazy. They work so good. Wow. The next morning, and I've got some great news. That dehumidifier actually worked. So it appears on the surface that things are looking pretty dry. Looks great now, but things under the surface are still soaking wet. Yeah. But I think that's good news. Maybe with enough time, I might be able to dry out all the foam. So the plan for today was to try to start this engine, but I don't think I'll be able to do it because